Hipper here. So today we are taking out the Graf Spee, and I actually have a ghost build on this ship here because I was trying it out with Ivan and Lemonnier, and of course pick the ghost perk here to really make this build shine. I don't really use this build at all in this video here, pretty much as usual I would say in my ghost videos, because I just don't play passively enough, I think, for these builds to make sense for me. For example, this battle here I would much rather have been in an agile build, but as you can see, the build works fine although I don't really use it. The problem is when you get one of these maps here where the cruisers are really expected to move in, and especially now on this flank here there's 3 cruisers and no destroyers, meaning that someone needs to go in here and cap, and since I am the toughest cruiser with probably a really good torpedo armament and a sonar, I'm going to do that, and then let the other 2 do whatever they want. And like, if you ever need to get some kills, it's always a good plan to team up, either voluntarily or not voluntarily, as in this case here, with a player in a Graf Spee, because like you'll see this Dallas here, he gets pretty much every kill in this battle here, and of course there's nothing wrong with that, I don't really care, but like I said, it's a good thing to ride the coattails of a Graf Spee, because it has insane alpha damage. So if the player in the Spee gets off a good salvo, there's a good chance that the enemy ship is going to be really low on health and be pretty easy pickings, especially considering that the Spee cannot get off another salvo until another 20 seconds have passed, which is an eternity in this game here. And when I play the ship, I always try to get in close. Less than 10 kilometers is ideal, I think, because then the guns are at their most accurate, as you'll see here in a second. This Budioni here is getting punished, and he's not totally dead yet, so we'll give him one more shot, and then obviously the Dallas finishes him off with a little salvo as well. I don't know why he's just sitting there waiting for his doom, but whatever, we're not complaining. And oh, don't get the kill. So head in here, and we have the sonar on, of course, because that means I'll be spotting everyone else trying to take this cap here. And this London here, not really part of his plan, I think, so he is starting to turn tails. The Omaha is a bit of a problem because he's just sitting there and he's not giving up, and the Omaha actually has pretty nasty torpedo armament. So I'm just going to sit here for a while and see if he's actually going to run away at some point, or if he's stubborn and I actually have to do something about it. And so far it looks like he's a stubborn type. So right now I am hoping to get rid of this London here before I take on the Omaha. And I was hoping he would shoot his torpedoes now, thinking that I would come around the corner, but obviously he's too smart for that. So we're just waiting for this London here to angle perfectly, and I think he is angled perfectly there, and I think that's a perfect shot, but I don't get my citadel, and that's a big problem in Spee when you get so few salvos and so few turrets and so few barrels. You only have 6 barrels. You gotta make them count, and that's why I go in close in this ship here. I mean, it has terrific torpedo armament, so nobody's gonna come and mess with you, and even destroyers should really fear this ship here, because it takes a while for it to return fire, but it does have a nasty sonar and nasty torpedoes, so it's not in any way defenseless against destroyers, not at all actually. So I'm still trying to make this Omaha here fire his torpedoes, and if I take a torpedo or 2 in trying to do this, then that's alright. So just waiting to see. Come on, and there he does fire them. So we're just gonna have to wait for them to pass, and it looks like we're gonna take one on the nose there, but that's okay. So that's it. He's used his torpedoes, and he's broadside on to a Graf Spee at 2 kilometers in an Omaha, and again we don't get the kill, but we do get a citadel. So here's the London from before, and I'm a little bit premature there. My shells go through the rock, and I don't get the citadel again. So we have to wait for the slow reload and then take him out. Yeah, that was my own fault, but still a little bit annoying. Finally, a kill here. 47,000 damage in, and one flank down, and we get a kill. So this camo here on Graf Spee is actually one of the better camos in the game, I think. I think it's really nice. I also like the Sure Lane Atago camo, but that's pretty much the only two that I would put on my ships. And like especially the Graf Spee, I think it looks really, really good actually. Like compared to something like the Sure Lane Hipper camo, I mean that thing is awful, ghastly, nasty. I would never be seen in that, and yeah, that's just an ugly camo on Hipper. But the Graf Spee one here, I think they really hit the nail on the head. It looks good, and it's not too colorful, and it's not too like Sure Lane-ish, if you know what I mean. It's it just looks good, and yeah, I like to have it on my Spee. So this Nuremberg here, he looks like he's going to make a torp run. So we'll try to take him out and then avoid the torpedoes. And in this case here, the Dallas is too late. There's no kill for him here. Finally. So as I slow down, because I'm pretty sure torps are on their way here. I don't have my sonar up, so I have to be a little bit careful. And sure enough, there they are. So that's perfect. Once they've passed, we can start to push on the middle cap. And here's the Dallas. He's ready for another easy kill. So we'll follow him this time. So I know there's a destroyer somewhere here spotting me. That's why I'm turning a little bit wide, because I really want to see if well, if there's a chance in, well, to take out that destroyer, because I'm not really sure where he is, and obviously I don't have a radar, but I have a really good sonar. But I cannot just hit the sonar and hope for him to be within 5.2 kilometers. That's pretty unlikely. But he just gets spotted for a second there, and that's all I need. I'll just head that way, and he's smoking up, and I have my sonar already. And like I always say in the German cruisers, I mean, the sonar is such a huge part of these ships here. That's like not your main thing, but it's one of your absolute main things that you really should make use of. And I'm close to this guy, and I have like superb sonar range, so I don't have to get very close. I don't have to waste a lot of time sailing out here. So I pop the sonar on, and there he is at 5.2 distance. Bit of a nasty surprise for him. So in Graf Spee, like typical, we get in a very nasty salvo. But just not enough to kill him, of course, but enough to take most of his health. And the Dallas gets the kill again. So that's alright. We'll move on towards B like we originally intended. And we're doing really well here now. We are 8 ships versus 3, so this victory here is pretty certain. So Graf Spee is a premium ship, and if you're looking for something different, if you're a little bit tired of all the like the cookie cutter ships, and there are a lot of cookie cutter ships in this game here, I recommend Graf Spee because it's very different. Like I play it like a hipper, but there's so many ways to play this ship here, and I mean there's no wrong way to play any ship in this game. In this video here, I have a ghost build on it, and it works really well. If you can sit at that, you know, like between 10 and 12 kilometers from the enemy and just go dark at will. But in a domination match, sometimes it is required to move in like I did in the beginning, and then the ghost build is pretty much useless. Which is why I almost always run an agile build on this ship here, getting the rudder down to about 5 seconds and the speed up to 33 knots. It changes this ship here from like almost being slower than a battleship to actually be quite a useful cruiser. Well, yes, you're going to need help with dealing with destroyers because you don't have like the reload to really take them out. But other than that, it's a very efficient up-close ship, and it also works very well from a distance, but to a certain extent, because if you get too far away, these guns here are very inaccurate. So, but it's a ship I recommend. It's fun, it's different, and of course it's like steeped in history as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video here, a little bit like Graf Spee demonstration, and I'll see you out there.